Hello YouTube and welcome to channel Annabella, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Joker 2019 film. As we all know, it's highly controversial, but I'm going to review it anyway because we've been waiting for it for so long. So come and join me on this journey. Perception is everything. So, first thing I'd like to say, the performances are absolutely spot on. They are excellent. The plot is really, really tight and beautifully done. It's more sort of a mystery film. It really is. It's the slow descent of a person from a working class background with complex mental health issues and a very, very complicated relationship with their family. And the slow descent into madness that completely unravels. And you get the feeling that all the support networks that should have supported this particular person have just been ripped away for various reasons. You see him at the beginning of the film, he's taking medication, he's seeing a therapist weekly, he's got a job as a clown for hire, but even his work colleagues are uncomfortable around him. He has this tic, which is the continual laughter, which I think is a stroke of genius. To be absolutely honest, I really, really like this origin. The fact that it's using the comedy origin of the Joker. As we know, there are many origins. Heath Ledger's was the veteran with post-traumatic stress disorder. Jared Leto's was the gangster, possibly and very, very likely the Red Hood gangster version who lost his wife. We've also had the comedy one now with Fleck. It's really, really good. As we all know from The Killing Joke, the Joker prefers his origin to be multiple choice. I see this as a very, very credible origin story for the Joker. In fact, it reboots the whole of Batman franchise so beautifully. It really, really does. And that was a surprising thing because it's actually rebooted the whole of the DCU, if they include it. And I would like a sequel, if at all possible. I appreciate there are controversies around this at this time, where you've got one character who influences society to the point where they actually riot. It is controversial. In the UK it's rated 15, which means that anybody who is 15 and over can go and see it. Anybody who is under 15 cannot see it. In the US it's rated R, and that means if you are 17 and over you can see it by yourself. If you are under 17, you have to go with an adult. And I think that's very important. But actually, the two things that make this film rated 15 and rated R respectively are bloody violence and language. Nothing to do with the troubling themes of a mental health patient slowly descend into madness and inspire a whole city to riot. Though actually that isn't technically his fault. It was really, really good, the use of the Wayne family, and Thomas Wayne, he comes off so poorly in this, it's ridiculous. He really does. And his lack of explanation and his lack of empathy, one gets the feeling that Bruce Wayne has been protected from a lot, from the truth about his parents by the people around him, to protect him from spiralling into madness and becoming somebody like the Joker, which is really interesting because it's almost as if Gotham knows what it has done and the Joker is somehow its retribution upon it. It's beautifully performed. I love the dancing. I love the fact that the Joker dances. It just is wonderful. The whole girlfriend relationship is in his mind, it's perception. The relationship with his mother is so twisted and dark. I'm not going to spoil everything and give everything away because that's not fair. There were some really lovely twists. I like the fact that Bruce Wayne and Arthur wore similar jacket colours. I thought that was really good, considering that the twist that we get and how that twist is suddenly taken away from us at the last minute. Really, really, really good. Really good. Good plot. And what's really good about it is it starts at A, has a B, has a C, and then finishes. It has a line of thought, and it's beautifully done, even if the line of thought is completely manic and erratic. But actually you can see there's method to this madness. It's interesting that the first people that he kills, he does in self-defense, because he actually defends that woman who's getting chip fries thrown at her by these three banking yuppies from Wall Street, and then they turn on him, and he, unfortunately, his laughing tick gets in the way, and then he gets out the gun that his employees gave him to protect himself, when really they gave him so that he would get fired because they found him creepy. It's quite sad, but then again, his employees come to help him after his mother dies, and you just sort of think, well, why didn't you help him earlier? Why didn't you support him as a fellow employee, not give him a gun so that he would get fired just because he creeped you out, because he had mental health issues? It is really reflective on society. And Arthur's first therapist said very bluntly, they've cut off funding. And he was like, well, how am I going to get my medication? And she was so blunt, she said, Arthur, they don't really care about people like you. They certainly don't care about people like me. And it was very, very telling that there was a lot of African Americans in this movie. There was an African American clerk who the Joker stole his mother's file from, which explains why we have no details on the Joker's past, because he stole them and we presume lost them or burnt them or set them on fire or did something with them, so that Arkham has no record of it. And it is very, very interesting, the fact that he lets that midget live, or person with dwarfism. And the fact that there is somebody there in the clown industry just shows you how society has been stigmatized. It was interesting that they actually had blatant kill the rich signs, and it was sort of like Marxism to its most extreme, which was kind of like, oh boy. But then again, you felt that Thomas Wayne just sort of fell into that trap by calling everybody who was working class clowns. He really was most unpleasant and not a sympathetic character. And when he and his wife got murdered, I was like, I have absolutely no sympathy. Because you did nothing. You said you were going to run for mayor, and then you insulted the people that were going to vote for you. I was like, this is not going to end well. And then you expect us to feel sympathy? Join a riot when you take your family out, join a riot, and then you get shot in an alley. There's a lot of questionable things in the whole thing. It really is quite a brutal movie. And the ending, yes, Joker does kill his final therapist in Arkham and then goes on a good game, chasey game with the staff there. So he's completely broken from reality. It is a good origin story. It is dark, it is disturbing, and it is well crafted. The lighting is beautiful. The use of colour is amazing. The use of traditional TV shows and how people can get deluded in them was really, really good. I thought that it was very, very telling and very current, and actually a very relevant movie. And I think that the Batman universe can build most strongly upon it. It really can. I think that they should be doing more of these kind of movies because their characters lend themselves so beautifully to this. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Please like, comment and subscribe. Bye!